everyone. This is the Soil King, Patrick King. We're going to get that king. All right, so here's the deal. He came over and started talking about the power of soil. And to me, soil is dirt, dirt is soil. The whole I know. And he said to me very clearly, he goes, I make my own soil. Who here, raise your hand if you knew you could make soil? It's right, very good. Raise your hand if you did not know you could make soil. That's the majority of people, I told you. So what I did is I said, would you come and give us a demonstration exactly the greatest way you can grow some plants and why it's important to use the certain things.
I can do that, and I can do it quick.
All right, let's go.
Dirt's dead, soil's alive. I'm the soil king, I'm not the dirt king, and let's get into this. So this is probiotic farming at its best right here. Who here takes probiotics or believes in probiotics? Your microbiome in your gut is the same form and concept as the microbiome in living soil. So when you're growing with probiotic soil, you're producing a healthy plant that produces probiotic bacteria into the fruit, back into your soul, and it's a repeat. Okay, so we're getting the world healthy again. There's a few products in here. This is I scale from 1 tomato plant to 30,000 acres of soil or corn, converting it from synthetic to regenerative agriculture. So we're going to go into here. Here's a
bunch of
stickers if people want it. So this is a really interesting concept right here. This is a balcony grow that's set up right here. So
okay, the soil goes in here.
Put the soil in there, Greg.
All right.
Keep it going. There you go. Man, he really is a good help. I'm going to have to hire this guy. You're pretty cheap though, right?
Yeah. All right.
So the next thing.
What are we putting in here?
You're putting in here big root soil. Some of the cleanest soil tested on the planet for GMOs, herbicides, pesticides, heavy metals, and everything. And if you're going to grow organically and buy cheap dirt from from Lowe's or anything like that, you have to know what's in it. The stuff is not clean. It's not healthy. It's not organic.
It's very interesting. It's very light. Does it not put your hands in here? It's almost like
Anybody use kombucha? This is kombucha type of cultivation right here. So you're feeding the microbes, the bacteria and balanced fungal is super important in, look at him go. Man, he is hired. Look at that guy.
I never envisioned Greg walking around.
I never would either.
It's not, it's soil. It's soil.
Soil.
It's soil. Okay, so this is a balcony. In Arizona, there's a bunch of communities, apartment communities. This is balcony growing right here. In the bottom of this little container, it has a reservoir that's 2 inches. And we put probiotic bacteria right in here in the bottom of it. And it goes in. And the probiotic bacteria is super intelligent microorganisms that outcompete bad pathogens. Meaning, if you got stale or stagnant water, these intelligent microorganisms are going to do the war in there. It's going to annihilate any bad pathogen that goes in there. So why is this little kit like this really important, especially in climates like Arizona, is the heat, right? You can water this and in the middle of summer, boom, it's dry. You got to water it 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day. But with a system like this, you don't really have to. So you want to...
Okay, let me explain what he's saying.
Layman's theory, here we go.
Any of that stuff. All right, so what happened is underneath here, there's basically a little holder here that holds the soil. And then it's
holds the water.
Right, yeah. Okay. So right here, there's a little holder area, and then there's a gap for water. And then you can see right here that the water goes into here and goes right down to the storage reservoir. That's what he's saying in English. So there you go.
So here's how we do it. We add King Kashi compost. There's 1 trillion forms of bacteria in every palmful of this right here.
So what is the importance of this?
So the importance of this is you colonize your microbiome. You colonize bacteria and fungal into this, and it becomes a living product. So you don't have to keep fertilizing it. You don't have to do everything to it. And it's building the health that you...
slow down. So what you're saying is that when it becomes its own ecosystem?
It totally becomes its own ecosystem.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Instead of you going to the pharmacy or hospital, you're producing it in a pot right here. That's what it comes down to.
So put it all down there.
We put it down in there.
Okay.
There's worms and everything coming out of this right now.
Wait, so there's worms inside that?
Inside this right here, King Kashi compost.
Sounds great. And then what's this?
This is a type of bokashi, if you guys have ever heard it. This is King Kashi, and inside this we add azospirillum, which is a nitrogen-fixing bacteria, and insect frass. So this is heaven to soil right here.
Why?
This is all your additional probiotic bacteria. Anybody knows what mycelium is? Have you seen mycelium? This is going to get a mycelium mat's going to grow all over the top of this. Instead of having to put synthetic fertilizers in here, this is going to be time release. It's going to grab all the soil and all the good stuff in there. It's going to keep converting it into mineral and nitrogen and doing its thing.
Okay, so I'm going to say this one again. So what happens is that when he puts this stuff down, when he puts the plant, after a few days, all of a sudden it'll look like spider web all over this thing. And it's becoming, again, a little ecosystem that's holding everything all together.
Hired.
There you go.
That's exactly it. Next step, if you're a container garden in Arizona again, you want to make sure that you're not getting a lot of condensation, all the moisture going out. You want to hold that for me, Greg? So these have caps. If you're in a cold region, you want black on top. If you're in a hot region, you want white on top.
It's interesting, on the land that we're working on right now, we're going to be building some of these planters that are above ground because everyone says it grows the greatest possible thing that you can. And now what he's doing is he's ripping little holes in here that he's going to use to actually put the plant inside so that nothing else can get in there. It becomes kind of like a greenhouse.
Exactly. It's a microclimate all in itself. So with this kind of container, you're going to get 30% more yield and you're going to get 70 to 80% less water usage.
So you're going to use less water and get more fruits and vegetables by doing it this way.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
Have you noticed how many people are taking pictures and totally enthralled in what's going on right here?
It's interesting. It's all get out. And then, by the way, this is going to go into the cup of rock. Who wants to take this?
Yeah! Woo!
By the Soil King. And you always say that your goal is to change the world one plant at a time. Is that right?
With responsible farming practices, absolutely.
Okay, and tell us what that is, and I'm going to hand it to you and take this off.
Responsible farming practices is in our society, we grow food and we call it organic, and we're doing these monocropping all over the country, and we're beating the farmers down to death by pennies, and they should be paid for their rewards. By the time you're harvesting these monocrop farms, by the time they harvest it and it gets to the shelf and you purchase it, you've lost 80 to 90% of the nutrient value in that food. So support your local farmers. Go after your small farms, local farmers. And to talk more on that, I have my team out here with the Maca movement. The name Maca is an indigenous name for Mother Earth. And we have created through AI a development that we can direct all purchases. We get a club membership. You can buy boxes direct from your local farmers. So we're getting all of our local farmers and we're putting them right in the hands to you so you can buy and support the people who care about the health and wellness of this world.
I got one. He needs to get a little bit more passionate, right?
Woo!
So the one thing you're talking about is scraping the land. A lot of people think that you turn the soil to do new crops, and you said that it actually is hurting that soil. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, in your case scenario is when you go across and he asked me, I got all these shrubs, I got all these weeds, I got all these.
No, I'm talking about natural farming. Normal people, they sit and till the farm.
Yeah, you don't till the farm. I mean, there's applications for till, and the minimal tillage is super important because if you look at, most people drive out and they see this huge farmland and it's beautiful, it's dark soil, there's nothing growing on it whatsoever. What's Mother Nature say to that? You just took a cheese grinder and you shaved off the skin right off her arm, and now all of the water and moisture is coming out, and the biology's leaking, and this amazing amount of water we're losing into the atmosphere when it should stay in the ground. And the sun and the UV light and all the bullshit they put in the soil is killing all of our microbes, killing all of our bacteria, and destroying our planet. And a guy like me and a few of you out there, we could change the world one plant at a time with remediating that soil. It's done quickly. I can do it. I can do 1,000 acres in 1 year and turn it over from conventional farmland that is wasted into this beautiful oasis super quickly. No doubt about it. We just need help doing it.
All right. Who's got a question for the Soil King? Yes, go for it. Okay, hold on. We got to get quiet over there. Hands up, quiet. Quiet. Go ahead.
How are you combating the chemtrails that continually bring those heavy metals down there?
It's a great point, and we've done a lot of study on this. So these chemtrails, if you can look over the hills and the mountains, right? All these chemtrails are all the heavy metals, exactly. It's all landing everywhere. Then the rain comes, washes it down to our watersheds, and all of our farmland is now in these valleys at the end of these watersheds, and it's contaminating it. So how do we do it? we have actually got some bacteria and some fungal that is eating heavy metals, eating PFAs, which is plastics now, and eating pesticides and herbicides. So that's a whole nother tech that's coming out right now. We have the solutions for that. The big industry doesn't want us talking about it.
That part.
Right? But I'm here, I'm staying,
That's right.
and I'm a motherfucker that's going to get it done.
Everyone, Patrick King, everybody. Thank you very much.
Take the microphone with me. Anybody got a question? I'm coming out in the audience. Probiotics. You like probiotics? Good question. That's right. That's right. That's Soil King right there. Don't forget that.
That is actually a great idea right there. If you think about it. All right, who just learned something about soil? All right, tell me what you actually learned. I'm curious.
I never knew it could be a biome when it's all alive. But tilling is bad for it.
Yeah, to me either. You would think that tilling land, because you've seen it your whole life, would be good. But basically, it's imagine if you had a little skin, you kept picking and picking and picking. It's the exact same situation. It can never heal and grow. Yeah.
I think it's amazing that they have the same soil that has our gut in it, that has our food sources, what we should grow.
Exactly. And where does the food go to? Back to our gut. It's to the gut.
And that's the way Mother Nature intended it. That's the way we started. We're just unraveling this onion, right? The lessons are already there for us. The science has been proven. Go out to a jungle. Go to the redwoods in Northern California and walk in there. That hasn't been manipulated by man, right? That is a blessing from Mother Nature and God.
I just learned a lot about that juicy soil there. Will it grow juicy cannabis?
I mean, I'm the soil king. I'm, you know, I was the first live cannabis license in the state of California,
Yeah, wait,
and I'm OG as fuck.
Oh,
Real
gee,
quick,
that
how do you
house.
pick up some of those bacteria that are wrong? Where can we get some of that from? We'll try to do.
I'm gonna give you. We're gonna hook up. So I'll get you my numbers. Also, I have a card here with a QR card that talks more about maca. Maca is, we really need advisory board members. We need people on the team for that. So please come talk to me.
I just have a question. What got you to become the soil king?
I was born and bred. I've realized about 10 years ago I'm a fifth generation Johnny Appleseed, direct descendant of John Chapman. And if you know anything about studying on John Chapman, he headed out 2 years in front of the settlers to create alcohol out of apples, but not for drinking and consumption, for medical reasons, for the wounds, you know, in wars, and taking bad pathogens out of the water. And we had no refrigerators back then, so you had to wash your food and stuff that killed bad pathogens. So yeah.
I can't believe you're spilling this bullshit out here, okay? Because I know how you became the soil king, all right? And I know what you were growing in that soil. So tell the truth.
Oh, okay, I'm the cannabis king. Everybody wants to say that, but here's the real deal. You want to know the real deal? There's no segregation in agriculture. Cannabis is a commodity. Cannabis set the bar on testing limits so high that the rest of agriculture can never come out. And why is that important? Because we're dying because we're not discussing this stuff.
Thank you.
Right? So, yes, it might be the smallest part of agriculture. It might be treated the worst, but I'm not living in that box. I'm agriculture. There's no segregation in agriculture. Thank you for that. And I'm also the cannabis king. Just want to throw that out there.
I'm taking your microphone away. Good job, everybody. Yeah. Put your hands together for Patrick King, the soil king.